How's it going, everybody? Cable Guy Ken here. Brother Alan Tharp had sent me a package when he saw my hammock video that I did, and I told him as soon as I got a minute I'd do a little video on what he sent me and show you how it works a little bit better and everything. What he sent me was the Whoopie sling and the tree huggers and all that goes with your hammock. And if you've never seen these, it's called am steel. It's a really small, thin diameter cord with a really high tensile strength, and they've got the line buried, what they call it, buried in. They've got it fully buried on this end, forming a loop, or what they call a dead eye, and then on the other end it's an adjustable loop. So you've got pretty good bit of adjustability as far as your hammock, your set your line up. It's kind of scary when you're my size to see something this tiny and realize it's going to hold you, but it will hold me. So let me get this put on here, and I'm just going to put it on the same way I did on with my paracord. I'm just going to pull it into a lark's head, just like that. Slip it behind that knot and pull that tight. So it's pulling against that knot, it's not going anywhere. And then when you've got it strong, if you need to make it shorter, you grab your tag end and hold it here, and you can pull that cord out, thereby shortening this loop up. And you can see that'll just shorten down to nothing, about 14, 18 inch long piece. And if you need more distance, you hold it here and pull this loop out, and it'll give you a lot more length to lower your hammock if you want to. But then as soon as you put any pressure whatsoever on that line, it cinches down on itself, kind of like the old Chinese finger cuffs that you used to play with as kids. It just cinches down on itself, and it's not going anywhere. I mean, you can pull it all day long, it's not going to move. So let me get this strung up, and I'll leave the camera running and let you see about how long it takes, because it doesn't take no time at all. And we'll see how it works out. That I'm going to use my original strap on one end just to kind of show you, how the two systems work, how they differ. Get the camera pointing there at that tree. Alrighty. Now on that end, it's as simple as just strapping this in. I showed you this when I did the initial video on this. It's just a matter of running it through this little chain link here. That cinches it down tight, and it's not going anywhere. And then I've just got the two brass rings. It goes through there, and when I get it adjusted, I'll actually tie a slippery half hitch in that. And then of course my paracord's wrapped around it. Then on this other end, it's a little bit different, but it's still not any harder. You do the same thing with the tree hugger. Again, I've just got my little chain link through there, and that holds that tight. And then you do what they call a marlin spike hitch, which is really just a slippery half hitch. You pull your loop through, then you take a toggle and put in that, and cinch it down on that toggle, and that's not going anywhere. You put weight on it and it actually pulls it down tight. Then you take the loop end of your Whoopie sling and you want to put it on the knot, not on the actual toggle itself, but you want to have it on the knot. That way it's pulling on the strap, not on this little aluminum tube. And all that is, if you saw his video, that's just an old aluminum arrow shaft that he's cut down. And I've actually got these same arrows in the house that are no good anymore. I'm going to cut a few of these out to use for toggles for my guy line and stuff like that as well. And then to make this adjustment, to bring this hammock up to height, you grab your Whoopie sling and just pull your cord out. And you can see it doesn't take no time at all to adjust that height wise. And I'm sorry I'm moving the camera a lot, y'all. I'm just trying not to, make any changes that y'all can't see on camera. But it doesn't take any time at all to get this, pretty straight, high up in the air and all. And if you wanted to lower it down, it's just as easy to just grab this and pull it down again. Then the same thing on this side. It's still a real easy setup. It's just more bulk. A lot more bulk this way. Got my little slippery half inch in there, so I ain't got to worry about this side coming off on me. As you can see, you got both systems are really good systems, but with this one, my setup that I use right now, I've got about 12 feet of this black webbing, these heavy things here, which I've got a couple of carabiners that a buddy of mine sending me, the lightweight aluminum gate style. So I've got a couple of carabiners to use in the place of these. Then I've got these heavy brass rings, all this bulk, and I mean these things are heavy. I don't know how much they weigh, but they are extremely heavy. And I mean they're strong, it's not going anywhere. Then I've got the paracord with the blood knot on it, Lark's headed around it here, which is still not a bad deal. I mean, it's real good. But the adjustment on this in and out is a little bit cumbersome. Taking it up isn't that big of a deal. Letting it out, you have to separate these rings and keep letting it out. And you can see on a big tree like this, I don't have that much adjustment left. Whereas with this one, even with this little bit of strap that I have here, which is the same amount I have on the other side, about a foot of strap coming off the tree, I've got the toggle here with my Marlin spike hitch, and then I've got about 4 foot of adjustment with this Whoopie sling that I can just raise this up and down as I need to, just by taking the pressure off of this berry and pulling this line through, or grabbing it here and pulling it through this way and taking this pressure off. I'm gonna see if I can't do that for you with the camera just kind of around my neck so you can see this. But when you're pulling this, if you'll watch this rope here, it kind of expands a little bit. Then when you let go, you can see it's contracting. Same thing here. When you push on the rope, see how it kind of gets fat looking? When it's doing that, it's releasing the piece of AM steel that's going through it and letting it slip out. So it really makes it easy, especially when you've got this on both ends, which I will have here in just a few minutes. When you've got it on both ends of your hammock, it really gives you infinite adjustability as far as setting up your, I guess you could say, the hang of it, or how flat it lays. But they always say the proof is in the pudding. So let's see if a tiny little 1/8 of an inch cable that just really looks flimsy, and my little homemade tent is going to hold me up at all.